New Sisters Podcast, we back again.
What up?
Back. Hello.
Got my boys in the building with me again. What's up with you, SmooV?
Shout out! I'm alive, bro.
What's up with you, Jew?
Doing well, man. Doing well.
I'm Poo, man. Those are my co-hosts. We back in the building again, like I said.
Word
For
up.
listening, this is the beginning of season 2.
Season 2!
I want to thank you, all of you listeners that have, been rocking with us this entire time, that's listened to each and every one of the episodes. Without y'all, there's no us. We
Hell
appreciate
no.
y'all for listening this far. You didn't have to, but like I said, we're thankful that you did.
Could have been anywhere in the
20
world.
episodes, man. It's an accomplishment, man. Make some noise.
Hey!
20 long episodes, man. I got to know my guys like really, really well. A lot better than what I did prior. But like I said, I appreciate all you guys for listening in. Thank you again. But what we got today?
Oh, man. Hold on. I can't let you off that quick, bro. This is our second season, man.
Season number 2.
I appreciate y'all, man. We
made
gonna
it
have a
through.
whole episode dedicated to appreciation, but we at least gotta take a couple minutes, you know?
Flowers for both of you gentlemen.
Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all to the listeners. Thank y'all to my co-hosts. You know, this is
We still here.
Ha! We gonna be here, baby. 100. What you gotta say, Jew, man? What do you think?
I'm just happy we still here. I'm happy we keeping it pushing.
Hey.
That's my favorite thing about it. We keeping it pushing. We didn't quit. Season 1 is down. Season 2 looks good. Can't wait to
Bigger,
get
blacker.
to season 10.
Hey!
Season 10.
Season 20.
Manifested. That's what
Shit.
you're supposed to do. Manifest it into
100.
fruition. But what they were saying is, I want to touch on that a little bit too, because I think that was an accomplishment. We set a trend, I believe.
Speed!
It's a lot of things going on right now. A lot of new podcasts has popped up. Not to toot my own horn or our own horn, but I think we trendsetters. I don't know what you guys think, but what do you think?
Speed!
Of course, I always.
I
do
just
that
want to
about
be a
myself.
guest on these niggas' shit, you know? Whenever they,
Let's link up.
If
Invite
we
us to
gonna
come
be
through.
inspiration, can we at least be like one of y'all guests or something?
Everybody, let us come through, man.
Please.
Tap in. We could cross reference. Y'all come on ours, we come on yours, man.
100.
Shoot the shit, have a good dope conversation, man. We down for whatever. Just let us know when y'all ready.
Let us know, man. For real, we want to be on y'all shit.
Call me.
Today we got election, California polls and elections as well.
Election fallout, baby.
First off, you guys vote?
Yeah, man.
Of course, I've been voting ever since I could, actually. So
Okay. What about you? You voted?
Absolutely. I've never missed a
I
vote.
voted early.
Just making sure. We have to make sure.
What about you? Did
voted.
you?
Of course I goddamn voted.
Is this your first time voting, or?
No, this is my, no lie, this is my second time vote. I think my first time was Obama's election, of course, and I didn't the time after or the time after that. And then I did this time. It was more so to create change because we needed a change in this country, obviously.
Well, what sparked that idea in you? Why did it? What suddenly changed that you decided, you know what, I'm gonna vote?
The
this
shit
one?
that's going on with the person that was, I don't even say his name, I don't even say the number he was, 'cause I don't look at him as a president. So the person that was in office prior, you stand up there, you spew hate with no remorse, it makes you feel a certain type of way.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I felt like a change needed to happen and our voice needed to be heard. So, and we did a pretty damn good job of allowing people to hear our voice this year.
Right.
So that was what sparked it for me. What sparked it for you guys?
Yeah, why do you vote, Jew?
Well, me, I've always just been I want to spark change any way I can, and a lot of people like to say if you live in California or New York or anything like that, your vote doesn't matter.
Right.
But I don't believe that.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it doesn't, I'm gonna take the 5 minutes out of my day to play the game a little bit.
Absolutely.
I want to see it through, see if it does matter. You know what I mean? So that's always been big for me. And if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
Hey, speed!
So I'd rather be part of the solution.
And even if it didn't matter, the fact that people we've never met, great grandparents, this lineage of, they fought for this. They
Right,
weren't
you don't
able
wanna
to do this
disrespect
shit.
them, yeah.
Exactly. So it's bigger than whether or not it counts or not, and which it does actually. But just the fact that somebody, put their life on the line just to be able to do this, why wouldn't you go do it?
Yeah, that's a great segue because that's why I vote and that's why I haven't missed a vote, because our ancestors paid the ultimate price to vote.
Right.
Now, I will go deeper because, of course, we are in California. People are in New York. Legitimate blue states.
Right.
By far.
No matter what, yeah.
But where we get mixed in everything is the propositions, the local votes,
yeah.
our local officials, our sheriffs, our judges. Those votes are like 3,000, 5,000, especially depending on where they're talking about, what zip code you're in, what county you're in, what city that you're in. Though you're even for a California proposition, your vote matters in those too.
100%.
Because it's what? Only 60% of the whole people that are even registered to vote, not saying that 100% of the population are even registered to vote that can vote. Yeah. And of the people that are registered, only 60% of them normally are voting. Right. So,
well, there's record turnout for this election.
That's
apparently.
a fact.
I mean, as far as the presidential race goes, I'm
even
not sure
just
about
with fucking registries, like the amount of people that's new registries is probably the highest that it's ever been, which is fucking ridiculous. So obviously, it's impact has been made to get this guy out of office. Clearly, so.
But do y'all think that the record turnout was just to vote him out or to vote Biden in? You know what I mean? Like that's where I fall out of line. Like, are we just voting this person out? Like, and we want anybody in for right now, or like, are we that fed up?
I think for mass media consumption, which is what most people are channeling their vote by, is they just wanted somebody other than him.
Right. That's what I thought. But why do y'all think some people don't vote? Why do y'all think there's only, out of the population, only 60% are registered? What do y'all think the idea behind that is?
Ignorance, folklore, people putting out if you put out the myth and if you make it like, oh, black people don't vote, oh, your vote doesn't count. If you think that way, then you're right, it won't count. But if you actually go and you influence your 10 friends to vote and your 10 friends influence their 10 friends to vote.
Yeah, people never really want to find out shit for themselves.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Not even just friends, but a person can tell you anything a lot of times and won't believe the shit. And think that's actually what it is. In some,
and especially if you hear it when you're young, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You start carrying that through your whole life, pretty much. But, you got to find shit out for yourself. Like, there was a lot of guys at my job who didn't vote. Like,
terrible.
Oh, I don't get into politics, or it's not going to affect me, or things like that. Like, yeah, it's not going to affect you maybe immediately, but this policy could be in place for 10 years, the next 20 years. You know what I mean? Things like that, and they don't think about that part. That part is important because the fight is never ending. Like, the fight is not going to stop. I was watching Obama on this shop, and that's what he said. He was like, we can't keep using small victories as a resting spot or thinking that it's just going to be over one day. Like, this is going to continue, and we got to continue to fight.
Yeah, I seen you posted that too.
Beautifully said. Let's go deeper, you guys. From this election, people they only focus in on the presidential election, but so many other things, especially us, and we're speaking to our California people here, a lot of things changed that were important. So we thought that we would just kind of tell the people what we thought of certain things that happened in California, more personal to us, more personal to you. For California and the Bay Area, which was Proposition 18 and Proposition, I don't know which one was for the California one, but either way, Proposition G, the youth vote. 17 years old allowed to allow 17-year-olds to vote in the primaries did not pass. Neither. Bay Area, and we feel like, we're all liberal and
it's all
everything like
here,
that. But it ain't that good, apparently.
We're full of hippie smoke and all that. Yeah.
What do you guys think about that? 17-year-olds not being able to vote.
For me, I kind of understand why it didn't pass.
Me too.
At at 17, like I'm 30 and I still barely know about propositions and things like that. It's still hard to vote. Like you know, reading through the propositions and things like that. Like
you're right.
It's hard for a reason. You know what I mean? Like voting, the act of it might be easy, but knowing what you're voting for is hard. Like and I don't think at 17 I couldn't process that at 17. Damn. Of course, I'm speaking for myself. There might be some that can, but as a whole, I don't believe that 17-year-olds should be able to vote. It's
why not make it a thing where it's parental guided?
Because then that's someone else voting. Your vote is it's compromised.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
No, it's one whole vote.
Fraudulent vote, kinda. But yeah, I kind of agree with it not passing. 17 years old is just way too young. You can't do anything at 17, and you shouldn't even. I don't know if you even should be worrying yourself with voting at 17. It's something that's so complex. Like you don't, you know, like I was telling you about the young boys at my job. Like they didn't understand the effects that could last for a long time. Like so, if we have 17-year-olds voting, they're voting for it in the moment because you know, the time now is instant gratification, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're growing up with that. So I just think that it would be short-sighted to have them vote at 17.
What do you think there will be a complete change in your mind mentally from 17 to 18?
No, but America has decided that is the age
that's
where
the
you
legal age.
Yeah,
so. But like a year, 365 days from 17.
You were out of high school, you know. It
some
is
people
certain
could,
events
but I mean,
that happen.
You could be out of high school at 17 as well. You know, depending on
when you're born, though.
Yeah,
and if your parents got you in early, too, though.
Yeah.
So, but you still, I don't know, it's tough. What do you think?
I just feel like it's like I was just saying, it's just a year off. Or like, I mean, you need personal guidance for a lot of other shit. To get in the movie, to get in the fucking theme park and things of that nature. Like sometimes, certain areas you need parental guidance. I get what you're saying as far as the vote to be swayed. Or like, you know, kind of a cheat, or so to say, but...
Well, I was just saying that about the parental guidance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It'll get compromised that way because, I mean, at 17, 18, 19, you're probably still living with your parents, so of course you want to listen to what they say, and they're going to influence, you know...
Yeah, but that's any household, for one. I mean, shoot, if you have older people that don't even know what they're doing to vote, and they have a younger person who's into voting, and they have mail-in ballots, they're going to tell them everything to vote as well.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, and I think that... I say let them vote because for that same reason. There is a increased elder age as we are in this world. People are living longer. The baby boomer generation has created now the most and oldest elders that we have. Mm-hmm. That is a big vote.
Right.
We need some more on the youth side. You could, and especially since
I didn't think about that.
The generation turnover is getting so low nowadays.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, and I didn't think about that. You're right about that. Mm-hmm. That could really spark some change because you know as the older generation
they be rocking the vote.
Right,
they vote a lot.
They make sure to. They're prideful about it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's like so how would we get the youth to be prideful about voting? You know what I mean? It's just we got this dickhead in office. Mm-hmm. Please vote. Like
they're more impressionable than anything.
Right, and that's just not going to be the case every time. We're not always going to have somebody like that in office. So what else is going to spark the change to vote? What else is going to spark the idea like it's a good idea to vote?
You're right, but
you're right about not having someone. But it's like behind closed doors, they might think similar to him. He's just out front with it. On Front Street, as far as
of course we're not. But we're not necessarily talking about those people, but I mean, of course, there's always going to be some people that believe the same as that guy. So but what's going to spark the change past that? You know what I mean? Like that was the only thing that made this record turn out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like I know that.
Media.
I know that was the number one factor behind this turnout. 100%. But next year, are we gonna? I mean, you think we're gonna see the same?
Unless
4 years.
Unless
you think we're gonna see the same?
Unless he wins a Republican vote again, then you'll probably see this record vote again to make sure he doesn't get in. That's if it's not him, then no. I don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't think so.
Yeah, if it's not him, it's like fuck it. Oh well.
That was great, guys. Let's go on another one. Proposition 16. where it was going to bring back affirmative action. Effectively, 56% voted no. So, repeals the Constitution provision that made it unlawful for California to discriminate against for the treatment of people based on race. So, basically, affirmative action.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not coming back. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, you can't bring that shit back. The times have changed. I mean, in the world, it's a lot of, it's just racially divided. Of course, what's going on with Trump and his views, but you can't bring that back, especially with the people want to get ahead of looking like a racist too. At the same time. So it's like, why would why would people want to vote? I mean, why would you want that to come back? Now it's like you even look more, especially with the Aunt Jemima and all these different things changing the look of what they had. Everything is going to change at that point. So it's like, why bring back this hate when we're trying to get in front of it to not look like we're the ones hating or feeling that way?
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, I get what you're saying, but like, I don't know why there's that stigma that black people are asking for like a handout or some shit like that. Like, we're just asking for the fair opportunity to make the same amount of money.
Yeah, literally.
Just live the same way.
Mm-hmm. And we're not asking for the opportunity of our parents or aunties and uncles that have gone to these institutions or to know what that is like to be in this type of industry or field, or even know how to even enter into a certain field. We're just starting off.
Right.
And it's a reflection of the population. If we had at least 15% of black people in all industry, we'd probably be better off.
Right. And I mean, for me, I compare it kind of like affirmative action, the idea of it, to like the Rooney Rule in the NFL. Like, that says you have to diversify your coach
search. It messes it up.
And things like that. But all you got to do is say, oh, yeah, I did interview him. And then that's it. Because you can say, oh, he just wasn't qualified, or he didn't, there's always the loophole behind that. And so I liken those two together. It's
very similar.
Yeah, it's like a false door almost. It's a glass door.
You're right about that one, bro.
Because it definitely needs to be a lot more black coaches in the NFL. That's for damn sure.
But how can, just because
sports in general, but but the Rooney, I was just speaking on
just because I interviewed him, I'm off the hook now, you know what I mean? So
basically, oh man, that's a big one, a real big one. Probably the most spent money on this proposition ever in California. You know what I'm talking about. Proposition 22.
But at the same time, now before you go on, my bad. But at the same time, like, a lot of these companies are actually trying to have more people that look like us.
Just because you had a Black Lives Matter post don't matter.
No. I'm not just saying just that. It's like
none of them
some companies like
they not.
No, I'm just being honest.
They don't have a demographic.
You're right, but some of them say like we wish there were more people that's in this field. Like me in the school, like when I'm with the coding and the web development. They say that a lot because that's like a 1.52% field of looks like us. It's pretty much 85% white, then the rest Middle Eastern and are Asian.
But are they looking?
Yes, but it's not enough of us who pursue that. So like how?
But how do you know that they're looking? That's my only.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
I don't believe the recruitment.
How do we know that these companies are truly doing that and not just putting out the gesture? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You can say that. Yeah.
Like that's the only thing about it, because like it's easy to say that, but is it really happening? Is the conflict, like, it's because everybody says that, that the discrimination law has been in California for a long time, but black people are still unemployed here.
Well, I mean, it was trying to bring it back because they had lost it for I think they stopped it in the 90s. And they were trying to bring it back to allow people, because obviously in institutions like UCs, as soon as affirmative action ended, it was record numbers of the lowest enrollment of black professionals or any black enrollment. And with jobs from years following, it was a drastic downturn because now it was not mandatory to have people of color, not even just black people. So, unfortunate. They say we still got to stay down. So, or we say, fuck the corporations, bro, and make our own shit like we doing right now on these social podcasts, bro.
Hello.
Hey, and we gotta really support our own people and their own individual things, and that's what this quarantine has brought. A lot of independence, and I'm going with the brother man over the other man on this one. So yeah, back to what we were saying, the app-based driver. What do y'all think about that? They're not employees. It's just the same old same. Independent contractors.
This is a tough one. Because I understand how they could be viewed as independent contractors. This one I really see both sides on.
I was trying to get them unionized, right?
They was trying. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Basically, they wanted like benefits and things like that. They want to be seen as real employees if they work past a certain
time frame, certain amount of hours a week.
Okay. Yeah. When you're working because I mean, if you're working full-time hours a week. Yeah, who are you going to get benefits from, especially with the pay that Lyft gives you? You know, I mean, maybe you get Obamacare or something like that, but we're like that shit care though. You know what I mean? You're waiting hours in the emergency room and things like that, and you can't go to certain places, certain hospitals, things like that. So, but on the other side, I also understand Uber and Lyft is probably like, this is supposed to be a side gig. We never intended for this to be a full-time gig for people. So I understand both sides, but of course I'm always for the people.
Yeah.
I'm always for the people. So, you know, if you're driving Lyft fucking 60 hours a week, yeah, there should be something.
I'm gonna keep it all the way real with y'all. It's an app, bro! You have no rights!
Yeah.
This was a side hustle, okay? You messing up my Uber ride. You go making $5 more. I don't want that, okay? I want you to pick me up in front of my house and drop me off. I want to ever see you again, okay? Right. I want to make $50 off 2 trips and be done with it.
Once they become employees, I mean, I don't think that the force is going to be as strong because people aren't wanting to pay that tax and all that. Now you're getting taxes taken out, you're getting Medicare taken out and all that jazz.
Exactly.
It's going to make the money not worth it.
It's like almost becoming a fucking taxi driver at that point.
It is.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Yeah. I don't want it. I'm not here for it.
Yeah.
No. You know what happens, man?
Yeah,
get a taxi then. You want to do that? Hey, man, this was a gig. And honestly, a lot of y'all cars are really clustering up the city anyway. You know? So y'all trying to get some more benefits? I'm sorry. Okay? You better be happy with the bonuses they give y'all. And I voted it, of course, just like everybody else. What do you think, Pooh?
I agree. What do you supposed to say in this situation? Like, I agree 100%. I don't feel like it should have been voted no. I feel like it should have been definitely voted yes. I mean, just off the fact that, like you said, it was considered a fucking side job.
For real.
Some people, you know, was using it as just a part-time gig just to make a little extra money. They got off work, but like it's kind of risen, especially with this COVID shit. Like, as many people that's doing it now because of the virus. But like, I agree. I think they should have been voted yes. I totally agree, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, and I think it's more specific for like big cities. Like, I mean, it's not a big city in size, but population-wise, it's
metropolitan area.
Yeah. I mean, and considering the cost of everything like that, I just see both sides. I can't really sway.
I feel you.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm always for the people, of course, but I definitely understand them and the opposition, but it's still fuck big tech and all that.
It was crazy. It was like the Avengers of like share that ride. It all clicked up.
Man, they spent some fucking money.
Like Lyft, Uber, like any of those little apps, they came to Avengers. It was crazy.
Even then, like them spending so much money on the advertising, the commercials, it's like, well, y'all do got it. You know what I mean? Like that's what I see. Like y'all do got it. You know what I mean? To pay people correctly and all that, but
to the victor go to spoils, man. You know what you can do? You can just not use the app and find all the people that you do on Lyft and just drive them like that. Then
and we all know that's not going to happen.
Exactly, because they want that middleman. They want that middleman in there.
Exactly.
And so you got to take the good with the bad.
100%.
That was good. Another California one. Actually, let's go to a little bit to Bay Area. This one was interesting. Proposition C passed. Non-citizens serving on boards, commissions, and advisory bodies. What do you guys think about that? People that are non-citizens, non-residents, getting these boards and commissions. For our Bay Area, and this is for San Francisco County. This is for us.
I'm not sure exactly how I feel about that, because I believe that it's good to get fresh perspective in places. Like that's why I'm, all for like new hirings of coaches that have never coached and all that kind of shit. Like,
yeah.
I'm an advocate of that because sometimes you do need fresh perspective. Like you were saying with the voting thing, like, and how the vote is swayed by the older population because the younger one doesn't really vote.
Yeah.
And we're not getting the fresh perspective because of that, right? So I would say it's pretty good, actually. I would say that I would probably vote yes for that, or I should have.
Didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Non-commissioned, like explain. I'm trying to figure this out.
Like commissions, like
I get that
boards, like different offices,
The board of
like
directors,
there's like a COVID commission. There's a commission for anything that you can think of. There's a cannabis commission, like.
And I don't think being a citizen is not a measure of your intellect. It's not a measure of. I mean, maybe like you could be a not be a citizen, been here for fucking 30 years, 40 years.
Thank you for saying that. That's my point. You could have been here for just as long as any resident.
Yeah.
But the paperwork and the process of becoming a citizen is so hard.
Right.
And if you came here when you were 3 years old, 2 years old, 5 years old, you didn't have to say so.
Right.
On that, you know. So
yeah, I got a coworker who's like he's been a permanent resident for like 30 years, like, and you can't tell him that he doesn't know about the country, like he's been here. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So yeah, I definitely understand it. I don't understand why you have to be a citizen, but. That's just the government, of course.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
What you think, Dan?
Yeah, tell us what you think.
As far as like citizens is concerned, so basically it's like if you're not a citizen, you don't get commissions if you're on a board, pretty much.
Well, now you can.
So now you can.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a win. That's a win. That's great. All these people that come into this motherfucking country, they built this country. We people that look like us built this country. They deserve that shit.
Damn. Speak.
I agree 100%. Yeah, I hope that was a high. What was the vote percentage of that? I hope it was like 80-20.
It
shit.
was like 54-45.
Wow, damn.
With like 3,000 differentiated vote. And that's what I'm talking about, y'all. That is how much a vote is separated in for your counties in these
That's fucking crazy.
In these propositions.
That should be way higher.
But do y'all look into the numbers and see like, oh, maybe we're not as liberal as we thought?
I think that we're not as liberal as we think that we are.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like a myth about California a little bit. If you're not in LA or San Francisco, it's kind of it's different out there.
Exactly, and they have a share of the vote too.
Yeah, and
even in these cities, it's not like everybody's super liberal.
Oh yeah. Some people hate this town. They, like, oh, the homeless runs this town, all that jazz, like things like that. So yeah, it's California is definitely not as liberal as people would like to believe.
So this nigga Poo went to the bathroom, so we're gonna have to do his last one. Restoring the voting rights upon the completion of prison term. What do you think about that?
Oh, that should definitely be it. You should. I don't understand. I never understood if you commit a crime, you can't vote now. Yeah,
they just passed it, at least for California. If restores the voting rights upon the completion of your prison term, 58%.
And the problem I probably have, I mean, are you allowed to go to the military after you go to prison?
I don't think so.
Oh, you're not?
I don't think so.
Oh.
You know what? It depends on the crime and the recruiter and the type of job that you want. There are certain waivers that you can get if you have a record, but it would depend on what's on the record. Could it get expunged? And you'd have to have that waiver. And I'm sure you couldn't make a certain type of job and a certain type of
rank and all that. Yeah.
So,
yeah. But
there's politics in the military as well. So.
Oh, I believe that. Yeah. I believe that. It's everywhere.
Yeah, right. It's human nature.
I think felons should be able to vote. It's very simple. Like, I mean,
absolutely.
All of a sudden, they're not citizens anymore. All of a sudden,
you live in this country.
Yeah, because you made one mistake, you got to live with that forever.
Exactly.
Which you probably will in your mind, but you have to live with that on paper forever. That I can't vote. I can't. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
That part of this country is ridiculous. And shout out to LeBron for paying those fines for those felons in Florida.
Shout out! Yeah, for real, man. Free Kev Kelly.
Free Kev.
I'm definitely for this. If you did your time, then you did your time.
Yeah.
That should be that.
That's the punishment.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be the punishment. Now you're gonna continue paying for it.
Yeah, that's your debt to society, and I feel when you're done, you should be done. And so I'm glad that passed, and that was pretty much one of my proudest things for this state has done for all the propositions that we had, that felons could be a part of that vote. What do you think? In this out. Restoring the voting rights upon completion of a prison term. That passed by 58%.
So former prisoners can vote.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Mhm.
Nah, that's dope. That's a great fucking prop actually. Like they deserve that right.
Right.
Well, even if, you know, you being a citizen, non-citizen, whatever the case may be, if you do the time like in this country and you feel me, you should be allowed to vote.
I agree.
At the end of the day, why shouldn't you? That's the real question.
Yeah, like
right.
How does that,
I want to know what brought on that idea.
How does that right supposed to get taken away? Because
where was that derived from? Like how?
Well, technically, if it's written in a certain way, jail and incarceration is a form of slavery. So it's written in a certain way. If you guys check out, like, what is it? The articles of, I don't know. It's one of our important nation documents. But it basically says takes your right. You're a form of a slave.
Right. You can get a fucking felony for fucking carrying a gun in California, like.
Yeah.
And that's Second Amendment type shit. So like it's definitely a conflict all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That right should not be taken away from you.
Hey, you haven't even had a female guest with him there. Mm-hmm. We know that. We gonna handle that too.
Yeah.
We coming soon.
Got a lot of shit coming, man. Like I said, I appreciate y'all for listening this far. You can catch us on all platforms, streaming podcasts, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. We